Children, are you ready? Welcome to my channel. Kids Club English 1224. In the heart of the African wilderness, a lion ruled as the mightiest creature of all, and his mane was a symbol of strength and pride. But what happens when that mane is threatened? Only a wise tortoise holds the answer. Join us in this thrilling African fairy tale, where wisdom outshines might, and even the smallest of creatures can change the course of fate. Don't blink, you won't want to miss a single twist in this incredible journey.
In the golden plains of Africa, Mosi, the mighty lion, reigned as king. His golden mane, thick and glorious, was the symbol of his unmatched power. Every creature admired him from afar, for his mane alone could inspire awe.
My mane is the source of my strength, the reason I am king.
Whenever Mosi walked through the savannah, the animals would gather, watching in admiration. His mane shimmered in the sunlight, and they would whisper in awe of his strength and beauty.
Look at Mosi's mane. It's so thick and beautiful. He truly is the strongest.
Without it, he wouldn't be the same king.
Not all creatures were captivated by the lion's outward display. Cato, the wise old tortoise, watched from the shadows, knowing that true power wasn't found in one's appearance but in one's wisdom.
Strength lies in wisdom, not in a mere appearance like a mane.
Animals would often come to Cato for advice. Though slow-moving and small, his wisdom was sought after by those who understood that knowledge outweighed physical might.
Let's see what happens when the mighty lion's mane is no more.
High above, among the swirling clouds, lived Zuri, the mischievous wind spirit. She watched the savannah below and took special interest in Mosi's pride. A plan began to form in her swirling gusts of wind.
What's happening? My mane. Stop, Zuri.
Too late, Mosi. Your precious mane belongs to the wind now.
One day, Zuri swooped down from the skies and blew fiercely across the savannah. Mosi's mane, usually untouchable, was tossed wildly in the wind. The lion roared in frustration as his precious mane was blown every which way.
Look, Mosi has no mane. What kind of king is he now?
Can he still lead us without his mane?
Mosi searched for the cause of the disturbance. His mighty growl echoed through the savannah as he demanded to know who dared play with his mane. But Zuri hid in the shadows, laughing softly in the wind.
Cato, you must help me. Without my mane, I am nothing.
Mosi, true strength comes from within, not from what you wear on your head.
As the wind continued, something unexpected happened. Mosi's mane began to thin. Clumps of golden hair were carried off by the wind, and Mosi, for the first time, felt the sting of fear.
I need my mane back. How can I lead without it?
You don't need your mane to lead, Mosi. Let me show you.
The animals began to notice. Whispers spread like wildfire across the plains. Is the great Mosi losing his power? They murmured. Without his mane, would he still be their king?
Cross this river without your mane. Trust in your strength and mind, not your appearance.
But I've never crossed it before.
You'll find you are lighter without it. Try, and you will see.
Desperate, Mosi sought out Cato. The tortoise sat calmly beneath a baobab tree, unaffected by the chaos of the world around him. Mosi, humbled and worried, bowed his head before the wise tortoise.
The water's cold and the current is fierce, but I must keep going.
Cato agreed to help, but only if Mosi was willing to learn. Strength, Cato said slowly, is not in your mane. True strength comes from within, where wisdom and kindness reside. Mosi listened closely, his heart heavy with uncertainty.
Without my mane, I move faster. I didn't know I could swim like this.
Together, Cato and Mosi walked through the savannah, and the tortoise explained the balance of nature. Every creature has a purpose. Power is not about domination. It's about understanding your role and the world around you. Mosi began to see the savannah differently.
I did it. Without my mane, I still succeeded.
Now you see, Mosi, your mane was never your strength.
Above, Zuri watched as Mosi started to change. Her playful spirit grew curious. She had expected anger and frustration from the lion, but instead, he was learning humility.
Your strength is not your mane, but your mind, your heart, and your spirit. That is what makes a true leader.
Perhaps you're right, Cato. I must learn more.
Descending from the skies, Zuri appeared before Mosi. Her swirling form circled him as she spoke. I have taken your mane, lion, but I will return it if you can solve a riddle. Are you willing to try? Mosi, now calm, nodded.
Think before you act, Mosi. Lead with wisdom, not brute strength.
I will try to be more thoughtful.
Zuri's voice danced on the wind as she posed her riddle. What is stronger than the lion's roar but softer than a butterfly's wings? The riddle puzzled Mosi, and he fell silent, deep in thought.
I must focus on solving these puzzles, not just relying on my power.
Mosi paced back and forth, replaying the riddle in his mind. No matter how hard he thought, he couldn't grasp the answer. It felt just beyond his reach. He turned to Cato for guidance.
Mosi seems different lately, doesn't he?
Yes, he's wiser, more patient. Maybe his mane wasn't everything after all.
Cato smiled, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. You already know the answer, Mosi. What have you learned in your heart? Mosi, still unsure, continued to ponder the tortoise's words.
Look at how Mosi leads now. He's using his brain, not just his roar.
He's a better leader without his mane.
Suddenly it came to him. Wisdom, he exclaimed. The answer is wisdom. It's stronger than even the mightiest roar because it lasts forever. And yet, it's gentle like a butterfly's wings.
Do you miss your mane yet, Mosi?
I've learned that my strength lies within, not in my mane.
Zuri's playful expression softened, and she nodded in approval. You have learned well, Mosi. Wisdom is indeed the greatest strength of all. With that, the wind around Mosi calmed.
I can give you back your mane if you like.
Thank you, Zuri, but I no longer need it. I've learned the true meaning of strength.
As Mosi stood tall, Zuri waved her hand, and the lion's mane began to return. But this time, it wasn't just a symbol of his strength. It glowed softly, a reflection of the wisdom he had gained through his journey.
Very well, Mosi. You've grown wiser than I expected.
Mosi bowed his head to both Zuri and Cato, understanding that his true power came not from his mane, but from what he had learned. He vowed to lead with wisdom from that day forward, rather than pride.
Mosi is the wisest leader we've had in a long time.
His mane never mattered. His heart is what makes him king.
The animals of the savannah gathered once more, but this time they didn't praise Mosi's mane. Instead, they respected him for the wisdom and humility he now carried within him.
I always knew Mosi had it in him. He just needed to realize it for himself.
As the savannah returned to peace, Mosi took his place among the animals, no longer above them but as one of them. He ruled with fairness and understanding, a true leader in every sense.
I am stronger without my mane, because I am wise. I will lead with both heart and mind.
Cato smiled from the sidelines, his work done. The tortoise had always known that wisdom would prevail over pride, and he was content to see Mosi walk a new path.
Mosi, what should we do about the drought?
We will ration our water and search for new sources. Together, we will survive.
Zuri, satisfied with the outcome, swirled back up into the sky, her laughter now light and gentle. She would continue her playful ways, but she had found a new respect for the lion and the tortoise.
Mosi has led us through difficult times, all without his mane. He's proven that true leadership comes from wisdom.
As time passed, Mosi's mane became a symbol not just of strength, but of the wisdom he had gained through his challenges. His story became a legend, passed down by the animals as a reminder of the power of humility.
I am not defined by what I've lost, but by what I've gained in wisdom.
Mosi often visited Cato, and they would sit together beneath the baobab tree, speaking of the balance of nature and the lessons they both continued to learn.
You have become the king I always knew you could be, Mosi.
Thank you, Cato. Without your guidance, I may never have learned this lesson.
The savannah thrived under Mosi's rule, for his wisdom allowed all creatures to live in harmony. He no longer needed to roar to command respect. The animals followed him willingly, for they knew he had their best interests at heart.
I will always be here for my kingdom, not because of my appearance, but because of my love for all of you.
Zuri, though still mischievous, would occasionally return to the savannah to check on Mosi. She was always greeted with a warm smile, for Mosi no longer feared her tricks. He had learned that challenges were opportunities to grow.
I may have taken his mane, but he gained something far more valuable.
Cato remained the quiet observer, always ready with advice when needed. His slow movements masked the depth of his wisdom, and the animals never forgot to come to him when in doubt.
Mosi has shown us the true meaning of strength.
We are lucky to have him as our king.
One day, a young lion cub approached Mosi, asking about the story of his mane. Mosi smiled and shared the tale, not of the loss of his mane, but of the gain of his wisdom.
Other lions may have manes, but none are as wise as Mosi.
The cub listened in awe, and Mosi ended his story with these words. Remember, little one, it is not the roar or the mane that makes you great. It is what you carry within, your kindness, your patience, and your wisdom.
The mane was just fur. Wisdom is what will live on forever.
The cub looked up at Mosi with wide eyes, full of admiration. I will remember that, he said, before running off to play with the other young animals, filled with newfound respect for his king.
Remember, it's not what's outside that matters. True strength is within.
As Mosi watched the young cubs play, he felt a deep sense of peace. The journey he had taken had made him a better king, and he knew that the savannah was in good hands for generations to come.
Led with your heart, young ones. Your appearance is not what defines you.
Zuri's laughter echoed faintly on the wind, but this time it wasn't a threat. It was a reminder of the playful spirit that could bring lessons in the most unexpected ways.
Mosi, where is your mane? Don't you miss it?
The animals of the savannah, from the smallest insect to the largest elephant, all lived in harmony under Mosi's wise leadership. They knew that their king would always act in their best interest.
Teach us to be wise like you, Mosi.
We want to lead like you.
Mosi's mane, now more magnificent than ever, was no longer a symbol of pride, but of the journey he had taken. It reminded him daily that true strength comes from within.
Together, we will make this kingdom stronger and wiser than ever before.
Cato watched Mosi and the savannah with a knowing smile. The wise tortoise had seen many things in his time, but none had pleased him more than watching Mosi's transformation.
Mosi is the king this land needed. His mane was never important.
The story of the wise tortoise and the lion's mane spread across the land, reaching far beyond the savannah. Animals from distant lands came to hear the tale and to learn from Mosi's journey.
The greatest strength is wisdom. That is the legacy I will leave behind.
And so, the tale of Mosi, the wise lion, and Cato, the humble tortoise, lived on as a testament to the power of wisdom, humility, and understanding, reminding all who heard it that true strength lies not in what can be seen, but in what is felt within.
Thank you for watching our tale. If you want more stories like this, subscribe to the Kids Club English 1224 YouTube channel for more exciting adventures.
Kids, thanks for staying with us till the end. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel, Kids Club English 1224. Like, share, comment and subscribe.